Hello, folks. Today I remembered that this game exists, and that I did not beat it despite being very close one time. And when I turn it on, what do I see? There's more stuff to do, so now I'm not even close to having finished the game. We'll have to see what these two new factions are all about. Right, so as we go, I'll explain the lore of the land and whatnot, but beating chapter 1 with the first ship, 2 with the second, and so on, and to make it flow perfectly, we're gonna have to beat the last chapter with the last ship, and as far as I'm concerned, I think the quality of the battleships just kind of deteriorates over time, which leaves us with a pirate ship, which leaves us with the worst ship that I can think of. Let's look at pirate technology. You have a 50% chance to suck ass in every fight. Okay, more chance to start a fight on an advantageous battleground. Fast capture speed, also in the battle. Extra officer, fewer commandos per expedition. You start with probably like worse technology than usual, so that's nice. You start with some ships that only have half of their health, so that's cool. The exploding drone, the stealth fighters, and the stun frigate, and the debris catapult, which is like your FTL flak cannon, more or less. So that's the way it's gonna be, huh? Let's pick some officers. And let's try to get a diverse skill set going. So we got a, what do we got? Speed could be good. The old thruster boosty. And that's a hanger skill, so we're gonna need someone who can be applied to the hull of the weapons. No, the hull. I'm wondering if regen applies to the battleship. It's been a while, and it would be nice to... Yeah, okay. And you've got 4 different skills as well, so I'm liking the way we're looking at things here. Here we go. So, what's the story, you ask? Well, we're in a sci-fi world, and for a long time things were great. Humanity's crowning invention was the I don't know what you would call it, like the construction of the Omni, which is a type of AI that can be fitted out with pretty much any sort of robotic body, and they controlled everything. In the end, they controlled like the economy and the weather and like researching technology and spaceflight, and they were pretty much just handed the reins over making every human's life a carefree paradise. And you know, it had its advantages and drawbacks and whatnot, but in the broad picture of things, life was pretty good. Until one day they all shut down, and then life quickly turned very, you know, apocalyptic because humans couldn't really do anything for themselves anymore. It was like in the end of WALL-E where they had to like figure out farming again and all that. Except for some reason, it appeared someone expected a disaster like this because they took a prestigious admiral from the Empire's fleet and they, I don't know, deep scanned him or something, and they got his DNA and they put it in a really far off base beyond the Empire's fringes, and they got a very smart Omni who was still functioning because he wasn't linked up to like the big mainframe. And so he and I are questing to like go back to the heart of the Empire, figure out which of its individuals who might have, you know, stood something to gain from the Omni shutdown. It's kind of all I remember. We're on the final chapters, so the story is about to wrap itself up. From there I won't spoil it, I guess. Now, We like to visit anomalies because even if they're battles and whatnot, we usually gain something, be it salvage or whatever. We like trading beacons. We got neon, which is our fuel. We need to spend one to go somewhere. And it's tough to gain as well. We got scrap, which is like FTL scrap. We get commandos, which help us if we ever want to do some boarding situations. So let's find the longest path with like the most number of places to go. Hi, kitty. Hello. Oh yeah, and just like FTL, people are gonna chase us to the end. So let's try, we go here, this is like 2, 6, 8, 11, or 12. That's not bad. We probably won't have 12 fuels, so it's good enough for me. Shipyard, a boarding operation back here. Let's do that. It's got a nice, appealing art style and sound design as far as I'm concerned. Caliban's the robot. Admiral, would you indulge me with some personal questions? I don't know, I might have done this already. On your decision-making process and why you interact with the crew as little as you do. So how does it feel like when you die? This interests me. I don't interact with the crew because they're like a bunch of brainless morons who would just infuriate me if I talked to them. I need to keep my distance, so when I make a difficult decision, I don't have any attachments. I see. Isn't that a little cold? Yeah, but it's for a reason. I think all the crew and the officers and all that, they're clones too. Hey kitty, your tail is perfectly blocking this dialogue box. How does it feel to die? We're not supposed to remember it, but we never really get used to it. Kitty. If there's a bright side, it helps us learn from our mistakes. You cope with all these decision makings. I do it for the preservation of life. Death really adds to my burden, sort of, kind of. The greater the obstacle, the greater the responsibilities. So I do what I can to maximize our chances of success, no matter the costs. How do I cope? Well, I look at the bigger picture. But it weighs on me. Gotcha. Every time we enter a new star system, we can roll the dice and scavenge some fuel. First, I'm gonna upgrade my I don't have enough scrap. First, I'm gonna scavenge some fuel, and we got 1. That's enough to basically cover our costs to get here, and that's it. There's an anomaly in the system, which we can consume another fuel to check out, though. Appears to be some old shipping containers. There's a good amount of scrap inside. And you won't believe it, but someone in a cryopod. If we have a specialist, we could reanimate whoever's in there. Oh no. Take the scrap. We don't have the right officer's skill. Alright, now we can do some scavenging upgrading. And now it's time to go. Let's see. Here there's a ground operation, which we could get some stuff from. Here there's a shipyard. I'm not gonna have the scrap to spend at the shipyard, so I think it makes more sense to go here. Do I have some questions for you? Maybe. I was doing that brooding thing, I'm told. How does it feel being the last robot alive? It's funny for me to see humans thinking about us as if we're the same. Nah, I'm not emotional about it, I'm very curious about it. But it sucks being alone. Very well. Back to the mission. Alright, once again, 1 more fuel. I'm gonna skip this shop, because we probably won't have fuel. Could get some stuff from the abandoned auto factory. We'll have to see. Incoming call. Wait, you're an Imperial? You know what? It doesn't matter. I'm leaving this ship. Getting out of the game for good. If you want my scrap, then have at it. She's left her ship. It'll be hard to find easier scrap than this. Ooh. Now we can prepare for a surface mission. Depending on the officer who leads the mission, we could have a better or worse outcome. Now this... Oh. The intel broker is new with the update. It'll help you mitigate the risks and minimize the... Wait. Maximize the gains during expeditions. You can buy intelligence above the expedition location. Each intel will work as a bonus skill. It's only valuable to this in particular expedition, so it depends on the cost, and it costs 30 scrap. We've got... okay. As we can see, if we pick the rightmost officer, the officer will survive. We'll have, you know, sort of a medium amount of scrap reward, but it looks like we're gonna take a lot of casualties, whereas we pick the left officer, we'll get a little bit more. Alright, we could get from 0% scrap to 60% scrap depending on the challenges, and we could have many casualties or 0 casualties. There's a chance. It's all up to luck. And the officer may be injured as well. Very interesting. I think I'll pick the leftmost officer, but I'll try to purchase one skill. So this officer has the the 2 spy skills. The officer on the right doesn't seem to have any skills that'll help people survive. They do have skills that will help me gain some more currency. I got 12 commandos, I can send out 8 at the max. So we can treat a few people as expendable for the time being. I'm gonna pick either the demolition or the piloting ability that the soldier has. It makes them so effective at gaining loot, and it's gonna be demolition. Alright, so it looks like it kind of helped. What if I bought the other one too? Of course we could roll the dice with one of these 3 other ones too. Which one should we pick? Area addition, hacking. Hacking is usually pretty good on the ground. Same with, well, I guess they all are. Let's pick, like, hacking. Ooh! Interesting. That helps the guy on the right quite a bit. Although it would have spent $30. I'll still get to guarantee keep at least 1 individual, which would count as a success. Let's do it. It's gonna be quite the risk. We can also decide to pull our team out early at some point in time. So here's the factory. We succeeded in all of the skill checks, so we get the mega loot. We can either continue, or we can retreat. And if we retreat, we'll either have to A, leave a bunch of wounded people to keep the scrap, or B, we'll have to leave a lot of the scrap to take on the wounded. But I'm gonna go hard. If the intact commandos take damage, then they will be able to survive. Now if I retreat, right, you can bring back all the injured and leave a lot of scrap, or we can, yeah, I think I'll we'll leave 4 people behind. If we leave 4 people behind, we'll still have a full team of 8 for the next mission, and we'll still get 67 scrap. which gives us a net profit of 27 scrap thanks to all the intel I purchased. Which kind of breaks even as far as commando costs go too. Whatever, we'll just do this. 141. Never mind. Ooh. Did a little bit better than I thought. So our fuel scavenging is as good as it's gonna get, i.e. kind of pathetic. I can purchase, let's see. Oh, hang on. I should assign some officers to the ship subsystems. Assign someone to the hull and to the hangar. I'd like to be able to field 3 squadrons in battle at once rather than just 2. But that's gonna cost 300 scrap. What else could I get? I can make the health of the ship stronger. I could give myself an additional hull bar, which would basically double my health. And give me a bit of extra time. If I lose 1 bar in battle. Yeah, let's hold for now. Buying an extra squad dock is about as important as buying more shields in FTL, so pretty important. Maybe we could go to the army depot. We gotta think about fuel. Let's go to the anomaly. So if we stumbled upon some Luxor, wrecked neon containers. Ooh! Alright, feeling better about going to the depot. Lucky for you, you're an Imperial. Otherwise we wouldn't be open to selling our beloved pirate treasure map. Yeah? How do we know that map is legit? We got it off a pirate. He died of a heart attack. Took it to a pirate expert. Let's get the official pirate stamp on it and everything. Apparently there's an unguarded pirate station in the next sector over, which is basically spilling forth with scrap and other goods. We'd make the trip ourselves if you had a ship decked out like yours. Do we have a deal? Okay. Pay you for that map. It'd be like bathing in riches, because that's what you'll soon be doing. Here it comes. The map was BS. So you know how I'm kind of a pirate hobbyist, right? Well, the map we got back was a fake! The pirate stamp was forged! It took us for a ride. Oh no. What's at the shop? Bit of fuel. Not bad. Get some weapons. Flak cannon 2. Plasma nuke. Pretty decent. Generic weapon. Dark matter cannon, more of a specialist weapon. I think we're good on ships, although the parasite is kind of nice. I think I'll stick with my ships, and I might get a... It's a pirate transponder. Makes the shop prices cheaper. If I sell my debris catapult... Oh, it spawns asteroid fields. Okay, not bad. I get the plasma nuke. Yeah, alright. At this point, I guess I'll get some fuel too. Did he just make a ridiculous purchase? Maybe. I guess we'll find out. They've got lots of fuel, so we can go to the direction with 7 things. That's 2 shops, though. What the hell is this? Oh, it's a forge. You can improve your ships at the price of fuel. Let's go down, and then we can maybe go down again. If we've got the gas for it. I saw your ship there, so I thought I might as well ask. You need a hyperventilator 23 to make a generator go. Any chance you got one kicking around? I can pay you with it somewhere. Chief sir. We don't have a 23 in our stock, but we could break a bird down and get that up, or get that over to you. I don't have any squadrons that can be broken down because they're all crappy enough as it is. I'm afraid not. I could do a name drop myself. Have you ever heard of the really cool Grand Admiral Idaho of the fleet? Oh yeah, that's nice. So can you help us with the part? No. Sorry, but we literally don't have any. Yeah, I bet you're sitting on a pile of 23s. Awkward. One fuel. Alright, finally some fighting. A key battleship. That's them. Being that you're an Imperial, naturally you must end your existence. Alright. Tactical pause activated. Thanks. I guess we'll take 2 fighters. It's kind of rock, paper, scissors, and that fighters beat drones, beat frigates, beat fighters. They've got a couple of fighters, but only one of them is a stealth ship, whereas both of mine are. I'll just plunk them down. And they can shoot me early, which kind of stinks. It overheated my systems, so I can't do much with them. Hopefully I can enter a stealth mode before they find me, and then I can surprise attack them, thus doing additional damage. Since my ship is in an asteroid field, the asteroids take the damage for the time being. I can preserve my unit health that way. And we can go in for the attack. You can't move while the hangar's overheated. Was not aware. It sucks. Alright. We've got 1 plasma nuke ready for when they bring some ships back online. I'm gonna send 1 fighter out to take out theirs first. Or maybe... No, this is good. We're on the asteroids, they're not. We're taking out their weapon systems. They want to surrender. They will give us some replacement commandos and a little bit of scrap. But I could probably do better. Now if we shoot their squad bay, the hangar will overheat and they won't use it for a while. But it's okay. We already got him. 52 scrap, now that's what I'm talking about. That's worth more than 3 commandos. Let's go to the anomaly. This time I'm not gonna buy anything for a while. Yeah, that ship everyone's looking for. The NS Ulysses or whatever. Look, I'm a nice woman. And I won't tell anyone I saw you. For a price. Would you believe it? I just spent my last scrap. I'm paying you nothing. Now get out of here. Big mistake. Now you're gonna be in real hot water around here. I don't think that matters. I'm already pretty far ahead of the thing. Right, I can't go south here, or I'm gonna get caught in the alert, which does something. But I can go this way, which I will do. It's one of ours, sir. I don't recognize the model of your battleship. Oh, this old thing? This is Admiral Idaho, the guy who everyone believes is dead. Many centuries ago. Pity one encounters so many lunatics these days. Look, Admiral Idaho, don't follow us. We live longer spread apart. For the transmission, sir. Oh, we hit the fuel jackpot. Pirate inbound, sir. What a nice ship you have there. I think I'll kill you for it. Once again, they have one hangar. Not bad. They got a flak cannon. Kind of annoying. Let's try a frigate this time. They're both the same. Except I'll put them all on the edge. The frigate's gonna be slower. Hopefully they could tank the fighters for me. Alright. Pretty straightforward. I'm gonna shoot at their weapons so they can't get a shot off with the flak cannon. It is overheated. Now we move on to the hangar. Easy for now. So there are atmospheric sensors detecting civilization on this planet, but no heat signatures. Hello? This is Admiral Idaho. We thought maybe you'd all died off. We're relieved that if you're receiving this message, our colony is no more. It's recording, sir. Let's hear it. Without functional omnis, life on our planet became too difficult. We experienced famine, disease, and meteorological disasters on a scale thought unimaginable. After years of suffering, our population was down to a few thousand. Decided to join our friends and family in the next life. Please don't judge us for what we did. We made the best decision we could in these times. We've left substantial scrap on our planet. You're welcome to it. And if you are considering this alternative yourself, we hope it gives you the courage to go through with it. We'll take it. These are desperate times. No defenses of any kind. This is some of the easiest scrap we've collected yet. We found the colonists beneath a grove of trees. Poison trees. A painless death. Hard to be excited over that. But we've got a considerable haul. So I have some bad news. Several of my grunts took their own lives. Why? Why? Must have stuck some poison fruit on the shuttle. You're clones! I'm gonna bring you back! When I inevitably lose this run, and then you're gonna get the lashings. I was thinking there's gotta be a catch, but surely that won't be the catch. Imperial ship, you can help us? The shutdowns left our planet in a civil war. My people, the Anisnam, need your help. How can we do this? We need commandos to defend ourselves against the Bashery. They want to wipe us out. I'm also getting a transmission from another source. Don't listen to this nonsense. It's the Bashery who are persecuted. I've suffered terribly at their hands. The Omnis elevated us within their society into positions of power, but rightfully so. No, it's we who need to defend ourselves. I can do neither. Proving yourself a cowardly admiral. For once I agree. We've united the planet. We've ended the war. We've united them against me. My work here is done. Now at the end of each area there's a boss fight. Who would better give me a bunch of fuel. I can't thank you enough for killing that psycho in the last chapter. But you know, it's my turf now, so I gotta take care of you. Alright, so they've got some good officers. They got a subsystem shield, which I'll have to fight through. And nothing that really affects me. They've got one laser that is decent. And they've got normal fighters. Hail at my planet. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna set the frigates up here so that they'll probably have to get targeted. And then we'll do the little sneak attack. And I see they can just spawn a bunch of free ships for free, thus completely negating my advantage in battle. I'm gonna take the frigate home because a bunch of them are gonna be drones, and drones are gonna eat my frigates alive. So I'm gonna deploy my other fighter in the asteroids, and hopefully they get there in time. Alright, start shooting at their hull. We've got a weapon ready to fire, which is great. How long till they get here? Hang on, let me finish off their hull bar. Oh. Alright, they made it. Eat this, losers. Alright, fighters are working on the drones. The other drones are in asteroids, so let's take the frigate out first before they kill me. And we gotta retreat. Oh no. Hangar's cooled off. I can add some of my own drones. These are kamikaze drones, so they don't do too much damage. But adjacent to my ship, they gain a health regen. Forgot about that. Alright. They've got fighters. They're probably gonna go after my drones, but if I can sneak a quick little chip damage in here, I can get rid of half their health. And they had fighters, so let's get a frigate. Frigate is here. Keep at their weapons. Alright, they've got us with their cloaked fighters finally. Maybe I can beat them in a... Yeah. Drones don't do much damage by themselves, though. Now we've stun-locked the fighters. These drones are probably gonna get blown up. These are shredder drones, so when they attack my battleship, they steal my scrap. But maybe we can destroy them, or maybe not. I guess we're gonna have all our scrap stolen. Or perhaps just destroyed outright, because my fucking hangar's gonna overheat. Yeah. Get him. No. I hate this ship so much. It's got like nothing going for it. Except one extra officer capacity, and that's like it. Look at this shit. The ship above, you can have 7 hardened hull levels. This one, you can have up to 1. This one, you can have 5 bulkheads, like 5 health pools. This one, you can have 2. It's trash. What's so good about it? Nothing. Even the ships are like broken when you get them. Oh man. Is this like a secret? Is this like when you play like the clown and Don't Starve Together, or the naked dude with a club and still gotta do it. You have to. Need some good officers though. I'm gonna take the squad repair 1. Heat sustained by okay, this is offensive. Looks like I'll be taking the exact same officers again, actually. More or less. I got so close to beating this game once though. It was the last fight, and I just about lived, but didn't. Looking like south is a pretty juicy direction. A free individual, officer, anomalies, ground, missions. Key Beacon, sir. Playing a pre-recorded pre-shutdown message. Dr. Tanika here with House Ekibara Sung Modification Services. Are your mods flabby? They're basically the Cyberpunk 2077 faction within the old Empire. Alright, let's pick up my officer. House Ficarelli Beacon. Also with an old message. Not even a scrap, it would scrap a House Ficarelli Beacon. They're like the worst house. Doesn't look like it's working, sir. It wasn't high quality to begin with. Ficarelli is truly the worst house. Oh, the cryopod's on the surface. Oh. So if I take this officer, we'll get next to no casualties, but almost like no scrap. And it looks like the soldier's skills aren't that effective in monetary gains. So maybe if I take a scientist skill or two, we'll get something. We'll get a hack skill. 30? That used to be 20, right? That helped a bit. This is pretty much at least a free try because we won't be getting... We got one person who might die. We're gonna take 2 instances of damage, and if they just so happen to get stacked onto the same person, then they'll get killed. But that's it. Alright, we paid for the hack. It's great. Probably won't get the cryopod though. Ooh, we do. Alright. Job well done. Who the hell are you? Allied squads receive cumulative bonuses from allied adjacent units of a different type. So if I have a drone next to something, that something will get faster speed, for instance. Okay, that's cool. Better assign these guys. Doesn't have any new skills, but still, we got something out of it. Don't need to go to the shipyard. Nothing's going on here, sir. I'm detecting something unusual about the sun, such as some of its metrics just seem off. Maybe a random variation. Is the ship in danger? Nah. Alright, well it's time we push on. First let's get the fuel bonus. Maybe it's not even worth it at that point if it just reduces that like 12% chance of failure for 60 scrap. Am I gonna lose out on more than 60 scrap worth of fuel? Probably not. An interesting thought. Just wondering if it would be... Let's do the wreckage later because we might want to buy an intel type. So we'll do the fights first. It's the one I'd rather try my new weapon on. Any idea what the weapon is? I guess we'll see. It is a high energy beam, which is the same type of weapon that I lost to previously. So that sucks. Let's get... Yeah, let's just do fighters. Nice and speedy. And these EMP towers start off as mine, which is like the one good thing about being a pirate. I'm gonna disperse my ships out so that they can't really sneak by as easily. definitely target the weapons, though. Another officer. Well, sick bay. You might want to assess the enemy crew because it looks like we delivered a sick burn. I don't know. Several crew members are not feeling good. Seems that the weapon was biological. No! It's just a laser. They got the FTL bio beam. Use the, give away all my fuel or probably lose, like, all the commandos. I don't know. I have to tell you, I disagree with the decision. Well, I don't know. Have you tried putting those 6 feet stickers on the, the corridors? Number of infected is stabilized, but at a heavy cost. We've saved some neon, but our commando loss was severe. Doc, you look like you aged 30 years. This is a cellular level I have. I contracted the virus myself. I'm afraid I don't have much time left. Maybe 1 or 2 days. Don't worry, you'll come back as another clone in probably like 15 minutes. 4. Alright, not bad. We still got a full team, I guess. I wonder if we could have evaded the whole outcome if they didn't shoot their weapon right at the end. I guess we'll never know. What did we gain from that whole fight? Oh yeah, the officer. So you've got some scientist skills, which is great. You will reset the enemy weapon with the least loading time. When, okay. Question. So if I pay a bit of scrap, I can have my 3rd officer also in the squad bay. That's all we got, though. I think I would like to replace one of the officers for now, though. I don't want any trouble, Admiral, so I just suggest we go our separate ways. 2nd transmission coming from the station. Don't let him out of your sight. It's Kylum Berez. He's been stealing from our ships and stations for years. We have a squad here that's doing nothing but collecting dust, and it's yours if you get the pirate. Oh, hell yeah. You know, there's a reason as I've lasted as long as I have. I only start fights I can win, and this isn't one of them, so whatever he's offering you, I'll double it if you turn around right now. Ooh, tough call. 2 squadrons, though. Oh, man. Hey, what do you think, Robot? Double is usually twice as much. Didn't we agree on Caliban rather than Robot? We are in the pirate ship, so I guess we'll be a pirate. Excellent decision. Something the crew understands. We've done this to protect them. Yeah, it's for the crew. Whatever, Daniel Lopez. I'd like to see you fly this piece of garbage ship. Squad's check out. Also looks like the crew hasn't reacted negatively to this decision. Excellent. See, they know. We got a Mark II drone, which can give us a scrap income, which is nice. And it also has, like, get this, a full health pool. Until I get its ass killed one time, and then it'll be back to normal. Let's put my weapon sabotage guy in there, because I don't have enough hangars to really have adjacent units. Maybe later. Alright, we gotta... We'll visit the wreckage, but we only have fuel for one of the 2 directions. Well, if it isn't Diogo the Horseman. It's my first day on the job. You take this scrap. Just leave me alone. Must feel bad for that guy. Almost. Alright, this is complete garbage. The people with the spy skills are doing the worst. The scientists and the soldier aren't getting much in the way of cash. And they're not doing so well in terms of troop survival either. So maybe we can deduce what would be good. Looks like the spy skills help a little bit with scrap. But not at all with survival. So I'll probably... This sucks. Let's go in with, like... Here's what we'll do. We'll go in with... Let's go in with, like, you, and then we'll not buy anything, because I don't think we're gonna last that long either way. We're gonna go in with one person, and we'll just, like, evacuate with the wounded when we can. And then we'll get, like, 3 scrap or whatever. Okay. Damn, well, that fucking sucked. We've collected nothing. Alright. Oh no, we're gonna have to leave a bunch of our loot behind. RIP. The sunk cost fallacy. If we go north, we can go to the Omni Forge, upgrade our ships. Oh wait, he wants to ask me something different. My favorite war strategy. My favorite strategy is to win. Yeah, having a favorite strategy is a flaw, you see. You should always be unpredictable so that nobody knows that you're gonna win. Or nobody knows what you're gonna do next so that they cannot counter you. Anyway. We've got just enough fuel to leave. So good. I love this ship. Now it's my turn to ask questions. How does it feel to constantly be running on fumes because this ship is a piece of garbage? I've been programmed with humor. I wasn't. Why you start making jokes? Cut off from the net. I've engaged in self-improvement. Alright. Ooh, we can visit a place. Let's go to the army depot and spend all our money on fuel so that we can engage in the chance to get more money. An escape pod. I'm glad to see you. Long story short, my vessel was destroyed by the scrappers, who are pirates, kind of, but more for technology. I've escaped in the pod, but my crew were not so fortunate. I'll hunt down those scrappers if it's the last thing I do. Are you looking for another crew member who is a mysterious person? I can help you and you can help me get revenge. Yeah, sure. What do you want me to do? Give him flowers or something? Just be yourself. I got bad news, sir. They stole our last unit of fuel and then ran out the airlock. And then a massive battleship decloaked right in front of us. I think you'll be pleased with our newest crew member. Ooh. What do? You can repair the hull, and also you have the same abilities as 2 of our other officers. Regardless, I can put you on the hull. I got some fuel. The Juggernaut's a fun frigate. It's really tanky, but if you can get it to the enemy ship, it does a ton of damage. I need to buy fuel though. You know what? I've got stuff to sell at this point. I can sell people. Oh. Well, well. I could sell one boomer drone because I probably won't need 3 of them. And the patched one is the same price as the regular one. Now I can also buy the Juggernaut. Yeah. Let's go to the anomaly. Pirate battleships are Imperial Admiral. I like killing them. Alright, let's do some thinking. Only one drone? Only one drone. What does this do? It's does not damage my hull. Okay, I can play around a bit. Put the frigate out here, put the fighter out here. We got these turrets that they're on neither of our sides because we're both pirates, and naturally we would have both captured them automatically, but we can't. We could probably capture these ones, or maybe not. I think we can get the Juggernaut there before they spawn in their ship. Just about. There he goes. He's chewing them up. Yeah, get him. He's been got. Should have used the shredder drones, thinking about it, for free scrap. Alright, well, we had to do that because it's fun. Alright. To the star map. Thinking about it, I think the forge requires fuel to upgrade your units, and I'm not going to be having any of that. I have to go to the star, which costs 1, and then I'll have... Realistically, I'll probably have 1 fuel remaining. Enough to go to the shop to get 3 more commandos sounds a little more realistic to me. Sadly. Transmission from the cargo ship. I'll try to keep this short. You're transporting a Xeno, but because there's a collector around here. Probably guessed it, but it got loose. Thanks to the no good captain who triggered it. We also have an activated self-destruct countdown. What can we do? Kill the Xeno or distract it so we can get out of here? Seems like a reasonable man. We got a ship full of cargo and able bodies. We can use our specialist officer with the proper skill to help us out. I don't see why I can't disable it remotely. Probably not dealing with a sophisticated mainframe. Just as I suspected, he stopped the countdown, but the Xeno is still there. We've got just enough commandos to put them in a 50-50 situation. I'm gonna say, with this ship you gotta take risks, because you're fighting an uphill battle the whole way. Giant alien spiders are no joke. Beast has been eradicated. Just a 3-ton baby. Ah, we've evacuating the smugglers now. Very good. Stuck out your neck for us, Admiral. As a show of thanks, some of us want to join you. Someone even has real skills. And there's a squad we were transporting. Yes! This is very good. This is very good to see. Go to the outpost. We don't need mercenaries anymore. We always need fuel. And we can sell a little bit of stuff. Civ transporter in bad shape. I think we found you. This piece of junk's about to blow and take us out with it. What can we do? Rescue us before this overheated engine blows and takes us with it. A skilled pilot could put a cryo clamp on the engine room. Getting lucky with the officers. Have to see what the new one does too. It's done, sir. The clamp's attached. Should give them lots of time. Many thanks. My thoughts turned dark when I imagined what would have happened. Some of us have basic training. It was a requirement on the planet. We're not well-oiled killing machines, but if you'll have us, we'll put our lives on the line. Alright. Increases a unit's ability charge speed by 30%. Such as a fighter's cloaking, I would imagine. It's okay, but I like these more. You can also buy new officers if I wanted. Anything really good? You've just got an extra skill, but I think I have those skills. The only new one is the battleship shield, which does, rather than doing like a damage reduction, they absorb one shot. And even if it's a big shot, it is a shot nonetheless, and it will be fully absorbed. So that is tempting, because our hull is a piece of garbage. I'm gonna sell... I've got 2 Mark 1 boomers, so I can sell the 3rd scrappy one. I can buy 2 fuels. Do we have any officers who are kind of just, like you're not my favorite. I'm not using him right now, and he's got redundant skills, which means I could get rid of him. See, he's gonna give ships like a plus 10% fire rate on a conditional basis. He looks very much like useful later on, and not at all right now, so I'm gonna get rid of him. Some weapons. Engine disruptor. Just slows the ships down. Horizontal beam does 25 damage in the beam radius at length. That's about all we got. What can I purchase to help me out for this boss fight? If I get expedition expertise, that makes the intel discount stronger. We could get a heat capacitor, so we don't heat up so easy. Should be nice. Squad dock recovery feels pretty important too. Same with hull structures. And squad docks, of course. I wonder if 20 to 30 is going to be the difference between overheating and not. Yeah, I'll go for it. We've got a much stronger ship lineup this time around. I think I can go to one more spot as well. Alright. Let's see what's over here first, while we're in the easiest zone. An Imperial battleship I could cry from happiness. You of all people will help my diseased colony. What happened? Probably some key experiment gone wrong. This has gene mods written all over it. What happened? So you've noticed, a flesh-eating bacteria broke out. Almost all of us have it. How can we help you? There's nothing you can do for those who already have it, but the healthy ones, take them with you. We could send a specialist officer to make sure that they are clean. Sometimes I regret knowing so much about epidemiology. So the screenings are finished. One of the soldiers has it. Must have acquired it before being quarantined. Afraid one of your soldiers is diseased. I didn't know, my apologies. We'll take care of the others. I'm afraid they don't want to be apart when the galaxy ends. Surely you understand. I don't believe the galaxy will end, but I respect their wishes. Sorry that didn't work out better. We wish you luck. Alright, so we would have failed the 50-50. Alright. We're in a better position this time. Let's see. It's got the Piercer laser, which does not deal any heat damage. Alright. Do we play with the Juggernaut? Maybe. Maybe we can do a cheeky early Dreadnought. It's got 200 health. That's no laughing matter. Especially when a drone does like 1 DPS and a fighter does 5. Put this guy out here. Excuse me. He could be bait for the Shredder drone, which has vanished for some reason. Auxiliary system. When an allied unit enters an asteroid field, it's in stealth mode. That sucks. Alright, looks like our hull will heal up some of that damage. Very slowly, but still. If we put you in the hangar, you'll get slowly healed up while we get some other units up. 3 more drone squads coming in. Definitely take our other fighter. Hopefully they'll get stealthed up in time. I can spawn asteroids, but I don't want to do that yet. Not until... Okay. Alright, the drones are here. Looks like our little Juggernaut drew the others off, which is good. Now I can send the other fighter in, and it looks like he's more or less healed up. I accidentally unequipped the weapon, so looks like I won't be using it. The fighter wars are looking tense, but we've got the regen advantage, so we're good. And now, should probably heal them up a little bit. And they can enter stealth, and they can go. And they took the shot from the laser, so that I don't eat it with my fragile hull. Very good. You didn't get repaired much. Not well in stealth, I guess. Regardless, we're gonna send these guys in. Oh, I've been caught. No, go in weapons. Overheat their squad, maybe. They've drawn off the enemy. If we can shoot them for 5 more seconds, we win. Ooh. Look at all that juice. Look at all that economic stimulus. Chapter 2, baby. Unusual message being picked up. Broadcast throughout the cluster. Some kind of warning. Until further notice, all Empire facilities and equipment in this cluster are off limits. Trespassers will be summarily annihilated, no exceptions. Our word is final. We are the Pragma. Ah, the new faction. Very cool. I guess someone forgot to tell them we're living in an apocalypse. Can you tell me more? Envy who they are. Each Dominion has its own judicial system. Imperial laws concerning illegal omnis, the Foldnet, and interhouse space regulation take precedence. So these are a cast of human judges and executioners to enforce the laws. Trained from birth for their duties, they roam the clusters and administer punishment, fines, imprisonment, execution to those who are in violation. Almost robotic in their interpretation of the law, and only answer to the Emperor. To attack one, at least, was a Casus Belli and strictly forbidden. What kind of robots were illegal? AIs. He's one of them. Illegal are unregistered in their main network. Using certain technology that they can detect these robots. Which means that we're on the run from the law. What do we expect while we fight them? They're formidable in their use of self-regenerating shields and cutting-edge Imperial technology. They can disrupt and take over our technology. That's great. The ships are controlled by 3 minds, with a 4th serving as a backup, which means, I don't know. Anyway, high risk, high reward fight, it would seem. How can we find one? Well, they broadcast their position. Typically a navigation scanner can find them, since they don't hide. We have to go through them if we wish to access certain Omnitech, like the Forge. Probably. Alright. We can repair some of our ships so that they're not patched anymore, and they have a higher health pool. Maybe on the Ghosts, because as far as ships go, they can be pretty good. Usually only pick fights that you can win with them. Usually. Definitely want an extra squad dock. And recovery would be pretty good too, unless we've got an abundance of units. An additional bulkhead as well, like a hull bar, would be great. Yeah. Doubles our health pool right there. Oh, forgot about fuel. Oops. Is there something we can get rid of? Maybe we've got 3 types of drones. So if we sell 1 boomer, we could get 2 fuel. Alright. Alright, so here's one of them. They'll always be protecting an Omniforge or a Neon Hypercube. Kind of want to fight one, kind of want to not. Because this is an actually good run. Gooder than normal. Let's say we go this way, and then we can choose later whether we go north or south. We don't want to visit the defense turret wreckage, because we might get a ship for a weapon for our ship. Something that's actually good. Shipping crate. No idea about its maker. That's a Pragma war container. Right. What he said. They know to leave weapons and technology caches in their territory. Fortunately, they're also usually protected by a gravity field collapser. If triggered, it functions like a small black hole, compacting everything in reach. If we can open the container without triggering the field collapser, it'd be a nice haul. We've got plenty of specialists. I'll just have to do it from just inside the field. I'll need to slip into my spacesuit and I'll be ready. Here goes nothing. Success! I deactivated the field. We're hauling the container in now. Caught a glimpse, it's a nice haul. Fancy, mysterious tech. Nice. Also known as scrap. Incoming transmission. An Imperial battleship. Well, since you're here, maybe you can help us with a very serious problem. Is the dress white and blue, or is it black and gold? It's our colony's birth rate, sir. Frankly, we're having too many babies. I've got an idea. How can we help? So you probably remember the Omnis controlled the population, implementing a tech that prevented conception. When the shutdown happened, the default setting was switched into the opposite direction. A heavy rock fell onto the dial and it like spun it all the way up to 99%. Now everyone here is getting pregnant. We have old birth tech here, but we can't get it to work. We need scrap and maybe a good engineer. We get the engineer. Know anything about conception, Lieutenant? I bet you don't, nerd. To be honest, no, but if it's pre-Omni tech, I could probably figure it out. Good news, we've repaired the semen sucker. Thank you, Admiral. This should help right the ship, so to speak. Please accept this neon. Why, I think I will. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna sleuth out your wreckage. Looking at a couple officers with a 0% survival rate. So it would appear that spy skills are the money gaining ones. Scientist skills are the survival ensuring ones, kind of. And scientist skills also somewhat help with survival, but not as much as scientist. So if we take a scientist and... wait. Hang on. This soldier and the scientist have... okay, so we want... spy is money. And soldier plus scientist is... survival. Alright, so we've got the soldier, so halfway survival. We've got the scientist, which is also halfway survival. Spy, yeah. So if we could take a scientist or a soldier and add their complementing skills, we could ensure better survival and maybe some cashola as well. Now, looks like between you and you, you've got hacking, which is pretty good. Thinking if we add hacking to you, Let's try hacking. Pretty good. And let's also get... What? Okay, so you would have the 3 scientist skills. You would have 2 scientist skills, but somehow half of your force is gonna survive the encounter? This makes no sense to me. Let's also get a soldier skill, such as piloting or demolition, I guess? We could try piloting and see what happens. I'm not really sure what to make of this anymore, but you look like our top candidate still. We're gonna have the officers surviving, and we'll have at least 1 individual surviving, and we'll get a fair amount of loot, so we'll go with it. And we might get the weapon too. Just doesn't make sense to me how 2 officers with apparently the same skills have very different survival results. Here's the wreckage. Ooh, Tesla field generator. Alright, big ouchie. Secret base. Cruiser prototype Mark II! Do we keep going or do we pull out? Probably taken the... I think there's probably plenty of scrap to gain on the horizon, actually. We'll do it to the end. Yeah! Yeah! Lost 3 commandos. No big deal. Check this out. We got Tesla field generator. Does DOT against enemy units. Alright. We've got a cruiser, which is... It has 1 absorb shield. And it has a range of 2. And, okay, so it fires like a powerful shot at long range, so you want this to be like a rear line unit. Because if it gets flown up to, then it'll get killed. I see. So if we get like a frigate to, you know, like stun lock the enemies in place, and like a fighter to dart ahead, this would be a good fleet composition. And it can't get one shot by an enemy battleship weapon. Neon spills straight ahead, sir. Hard to see, but it's fortunate we didn't jump into it. We'd be eating at our hull. Neon's difficult to gather like this, but we could collect some, and more if we have a capable scientist. Look at this! We do have a portable quantum frequency modulator. Should be able to use it on the tractor beam to attract the neon. Get going, Lieutenant. I've soaked up as much of it as I could with the tractor beam, sir. I think you'll be happy with the result. Very good. Hey, what are we looking at for upgrades now? Can we get maybe a second weapon? We could. Oh, I see. When there's a yellow thing, it's an expensive technology to start off with. See, squad dock recovery level 1 is 120, scrap level 2 is just 50. The heat capacitor went from 70 to 30 as well. It's like buying shields for the stealth ship in FTL or something. I'm feeling good about our chances if we just keep going straight on. Actually, probably doing the stealth system would have been a bit better. That's okay. I feel you looking at me, machine. Oh, sorry. More questions? Nah. can ask a future iteration of me when he's not streaming and might be more prone to just reading text. Should we go to the shipyard? Should we go to the shipyard? What would we ship at the yard? Picking up a small camp of men and women on the planet, sir. Greetings, Admiral. We're pilots camped out on this wasteland looking for a noble Imperial cause to join. Looks like you're one of us, but we know nothing of you nor your intentions. If you could explain the objective of you and your crew, and if we like what we hear, we'll join up with you. If we say we're gonna reactivate the Omnis, they'll probably be like, you delusions of grandeur, hey? We're gonna help the common man. Help them, give them scrap and neon when we can, and sometimes going to battle, which our warship is well equipped to do. But the more I see, the more I doubt what kind of impact our small fleet will have in a galaxy so large. We'll do what we can. That's our duty. Alright, we'll confer among ourselves. Thanks for waiting. It's true. It's a lot of hardship that one fleet might not much do good, but we can still try to make a difference. And to someone, our actions will make a difference. So we accept. Are you all good pilots? Yes. You all good citizens? Yes. Alright. Ooh, a nice little fighter. Now this guy, if I recall, he accelerates in a straight line and does some sort of ramming damage dependent on his speed. Which is kind of a specialty ship, so if I'm trying out this lineup, I'll pick a regular fighter. Still though, very cool. Very good, very nice. Let's check out the shipyard. I got fuel. A church battleship is hiding in the asteroid. Really? They appear to be quite cleverly concealed. I don't think they can see us. In these rocks, its visibility must be slim to none. Let's redirect the asteroids into the ship. Make their life a little bit harder. I'm no meteorologist, but I see an asteroid shower in the immediate forecast. Right, the ship has taken significant hull damage, and we have a clear path to attack. Very good. They've taken damage, and they're on fire. Time to do some testing. Here's a nanobot repair field, which should either be owned by me or is capturable by me. All non-capturable units are considered allied, but I can also capture them at double the rate. So this is a remote healing station once I sit close to it for enough time. Let's get our ships going. Not sure what kind of weapon they have. Engine disruptor. Just a laser that attacks the battleship. Let me see. They've got some frigates. My fighter is not gonna do so well against them. I don't know what the hell this is. I think this is like an asteroid impact or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's... Here, maybe if we do like this, we can just shoot him. Yeah! Start dealing some damage. Let's hide back here. Cruiser's heavy guns are at work. Not quite, but we got him anyway. If we sit... we would have to go on the other side of this big rock. We've captured the nano repair field. Let's get the... Looks like these fields disable me. I think that cruiser is gonna get killed without support, so I'm gonna retreat it. And you've got your own cruiser, which does no melee damage, so we should start shooting him. We can attack here. Maybe give our fighters an edge in this lopsided fight. Next lineup of ships. We'll try the Minotaur fighter. We'll try... We've got a frigate, so we'll need some drones. Let's get the Shredder, and maybe we can steal some scrap from them too. And we'll get the fighters ready to charge from this line. We've attacked the battleship. I don't know how much scrap that will have considered getting stolen, but... Alright, the Minotaur got stunned. We'll just do some contributing damage. Their next cruiser is here, which kind of stun locks me, or slows me down or something. Get over there. Oh, I see. Jonas in this spot. They are auto-crafting something. maybe you can leave. Maybe you've got time to leave. Let's get a kamikaze drone in. I think the Minotaurs are gonna die. Maybe they can kill these drones before it's too late. Nah. That's not a huge deal. So these are drones. These are full health drones. They do almost as much damage. More ships. Give me more fighters. You're that cruiser again. Give me something speedy. Another fighter squad. Alright, we've got all those ships. Our boomer has 1 health left, so maybe we can retreat him in time. Or at least get him over to the health field. The health field extends out all the way to this space too, which is nice. Alright, we've stolen some scrap. Our couple of our ships got wrecked, so now they have half health. But those are ships that I expect are gonna die pretty often. It's not the biggest loss in the world. Emergency retreat thrusters. What do we got at the shipyard? Deploying squadron that is going back to the hangar with less health will move faster and is not hindered by debuffs and stuff. But you can't abuse it by not getting them back in the hangar. Protector cruiser adds absorbing shields to adjacent units. Interesting. Prototype fighter. This unit's movement cannot be altered in any way. Interesting. At some point it is gonna suck to have a bunch of Mark 1 ships, because we're gonna need the 2s and the 3s and the 4s. But these Mark 3s are kind of niche. Let's take a look at some stats here. See, the fighters have about 30 health, realistically, 5 DPS. They've got Some sneak attack mechanics with stealth mode, which is nice. Bit of burst damage. Whereas these fighters do 7 DPS and have 70 health. Obviously these would win in a fight, even if the stealth fighter was not patched. I don't know, we're still doing well enough. If I would get something, I would get the prototype fighter. Probably not the cruiser. I'm curious about something. Oh, I sold that guy. Never mind. It was the guy where if you stick all your units together, they kind of buff each other, but he's no longer with us. He was exchanged for currency. Alright, I'm just gonna save up for more upgrades, I think. Let's try the recovery. Because some fights can get rather long. It becomes more of a war on attrition. And the worst thing that could happen to me is that the enemies get a free run at my hull while I'm still recharging. I do want to check out the new content though, so I will be taking on that fight. We'll see how well that goes for me. Scrapper battleship. Incoming transmission. Shiny ship you have. Think I'll scrap it when, when you're dead. Alright, so these turrets are now mine because they are uncapturable and I'm a pirate. They've got some drones. Drones are gonna explode when they get defeated. I think I'll win in the early game. Well, will I though? Maybe not. The fighters will take out the drones, but they'll get blown up in the process because the drones blow up. And then they've got some fighters that we need to worry about, so we'll get them with the frigate. And then, after that, then we can replace the fighters with like shredder drones or something. Hang on, let's keep the fighters back while they cloak. If you want to attack my frigate with your drones, you have to get in turret range, which you'd probably find get really embarrassed. Oh no, they're just attacking it. Never mind. Alright, you got the frigates. You two have exploded. Let me bring you in. You can just heal by the ship. You can go in. See if we can take advantage of their defeat by stealing a bit of scrap. Not quite. Alright, well. Let's see where my drones want to move first. We'll let the drones move, then we can target where they are gonna be sitting, which is right here. Alright. Field's been wiped. I damaged them, and I don't know if I have to damage them a certain amount or what, but I did damage them, and while they're recharging their ships, I can get some more damage in their hangar and maybe disable it for a while, or maybe not disable it for a while. Treat you. Maybe make them harder to follow us, and we'll get a frigate that will give the fighters some cover. And we'll just charge in with the Juggernaut. You're cloaked, so you can shoot a guy. This little regen field is closer than I thought it was. Or maybe not. Regardless, it's healing, which is good. Alright, everyone in. One health bar taken care of. Let's get a cruiser. Ah, a truce, eh? Kinda still just a scrap needer. One who needs scrap. And I'm not looking at a lot of scrap here. Let's get a frigate in. Frigate covers the cruiser, and our last unit will be another fighter. Let's get the... Nah, I like this stealth fighter. And actually the drones are getting the frigate, but the cruiser's in backup. Looks pretty good. We'll slowly advance. Take you out of the kamikaze path. Hey, get him. Get him! Awkward. Let's slow their advance in this direction, I guess. Awkward. Now I'm caught in the field. Oh, cruiser's taking damage. We've let them escape. Now, if we can just kill their ship, we're good. We've stolen... We stole one scrap, so I guess it does depend on how long the shredder shreds the enemy. Got a debris catapult Mark II, which is kind of just a better version of our previous one, in that it recharges 4 seconds faster. I haven't found any great opportunities where I thought I would love to use the debris catapult, because whenever I can spawn an asteroid for my team, it seems like there's another one that gets spawned in the perfect position for them to use it, or something like that. Cryopod, eh? Let's go to the shipyard first. Sell at least one of the catapults. Get some scrap. We can pay for some more intel. That's not your battleship, is it? I hope you kept the receipt. You got some pretty solid loadouts here. Just standard Mark II ships. Plasma nuke. Hate to see it. Let's go for 2 frigates and the cruiser, and kind of just bulldoze our way through. If we can. Let's commit to one side of the fight. And we're gonna put some weapons here to guard our flank. Alright, that works pretty well. Let's target their squadron, the hangar. Now that they've just used their weapon, we can't do so much with it. Fortunately, their fighters are in a pretty annoying spot. Now we need a frigate. We don't have one. So who's just got that best DPS? The Minotaurs. You also deal, what, 40 damage? Which is enough to take out the asteroids, but that's it. I'd like to recall my cruiser too, because it's getting its ass beat. I can just park you here. Alright. And your ships go quite slow. So that's nice. Juggernaut's been doing good work for me. So let's get one. Alright, time to retreat with the cruiser, I'm thinking. Wonder if I can okay, no, you stay there. Just stay in okay, or leave. I was hoping the Juggernaut would distract it, but I guess not. We've done some work with the weapons. And they've got their own Juggernaut, I see. It's a patched version. We can protect our hull. Juggernauts cannot attack one another. Oh, I thought I took out their fighters. Okay, just go in. You're gonna go on this line so we can accelerate a little bit. Do some damage. Maybe we can't take them out early enough. Maybe we gotta just beat them to it. Ooh, 17 damage. It's nothing. Get him. And we got him. Get some scrap. My cruiser got wrecked, and that makes me unhappy. But it's not gonna do much. Well, it's okay. It's not supposed to be in melee range anyway. Alright, what's at the shop? Fighter Mark III, just a nice stand-up ship. When the enemy battleship has critical effects, your squadrons recharge their abilities faster. Press the advantage that way. If I buy any of this, I won't be able to purchase any intel. Unless I sell the transponder, but I can still get some more monies out of that by getting discounts. So I don't want to. I certainly like having 2 of every ship class. The Minotaur does up to 20 alpha damage and 6 DPS otherwise, which is really nice. Maybe if I sell 1 Ghost Fighter and get the Fighter Mark III. And what does this cruiser do? It just kind of does a bunch of AoE. That's pretty decent. That's quite nice. Enemy and neutral units within 3 cells. That's quite a range too. This is like the one I've got right now, but like sicko mode. I think. You do 11 DPS. Oh. I guess that's a little bit better. But the cruiser can deal short range damage as well. This cruiser sells for 55, which is a pretty appreciable discount on the new cruisers, so I'm gonna do that. And I've never seen that in the shop or anything before, so I want to have some fun with it. Let's check out the new planet area. Maybe we can get yet another officer for my weapons. Boy, are we glad to make contact with a group of fellow Imperials. We're stuck on one of the planet's dozen moons for a while, shipwrecked. Got that piece of junk from a civilian, sketchy fella. I knew I shouldn't have trusted him. Anyway, don't suppose you'd want a bunch of badass commandos at your command, would you? Hate to admit it, sir, but these mouth breathers could really help us out. Just make sure their lockers are far from mine and we'll get along just fine. Ooh. I guess we don't need to worry about survivability on this one. Not to mention, you're a pretty good unit to begin with. Good survivability and also the best rewards. It looks like a soldier perk, but also give me some good rewards as well. Demolition or piloting? I think I'm gonna try for demolition. That did literally nothing. Alright. Well, okay. How come it only affected some of the commandos? Some of the officers. Oh, we didn't have piloting. We almost got to the cryo module. Get some fuel though. Still got lots of good rewards. We get another squad dock for 450. We can probably after this boss. That seems to be how they kind of do the pacing, where it's pretty tough to afford it before you fought the boss. And when you fight the boss, they pretty much pay for it. See where we are in the map here. Okay, we can do a little bit of purchasing till we get to the Pragma battleship. And I know if we do something in combat with them, we can unlock one of their ships to play myself. Should be a significant improvement over this piece of garbage. Let's spend then for the fight. A weapon dock would be okay. I don't think I have any officers for my weapon systems. Nah. If I added another officer support for the hull, I could stick you in the hull and have some units recharge their abilities faster. Which sounds like a expensive purchase. Heat capacitor could be pretty good for its value. Hardened hull, 15 points. An additional hull structure would probably be a better purchase. I get 80 hull points instead of just 30, of course. Then I would have 50 to spend on squad dock recovery. I like it. You're beefier. Alright, now let's fight these guys. They're probably going to be at the forge, but they could also be at the star as well. An Imperial station, sir, but I'm uncertain if there's any activity inside. I'm not. Someone is definitely in there. Would you like to contact them? Securing a channel now. Yours is an Imperial ship, a potential ally, or not. Who are you? I'm a Pragma Admiral. You don't recognize my kind? Can we help you? Pre-shutdown, that would have been unimaginable. But yes, perhaps now you can. I, along with 3 other of my pragmas of my ship, are investigating a rogue Omni, which is not registered with the fault net. Isn't that just like you, Caliban? We would do well not to inform him. The 3 of them went off in our ship in pursuit while I stayed behind to gather information, as is protocol. However, they have been gone for unusual periods of time. You'd enlist us in your cause? Yes, it's your duty to help a Pragma ship, is it not? It's in it for you, for me. Did you not hear? It's your duty to help. These are strange times. Our mission is clearly of the utmost importance. Alright, if you find the ship, they'll pay you. But you'll never have our respect. After all, it's your duty. Okay. Maybe we can blow up 2 ships. You are hardly in a position to decline. Now go. Lucky for us, they did not detect Caliban's presence. Quest added in the next sector. This is good. We can choose to ignore it. Ooh. Now, if we go to the Omniforge and we win, we can use all our bountiful holds of fuel to spend on our ships to make them more powerful. You're within the secured perimeter of an Empire-owned Omni structure. Surrender or die. You can't surrender. Sorry. It's not in the game mechanics. Your mission. Gathering in the Nether. No mission is more important than law. Alright. Now let's see what's with these guys. They've got some sort of overshield. But we have a thing that advances their interstitial tracker creation by 18%. Which, I don't know what that does. So they've got an overshield, they've got some strong ships, good fighters, and a frigate. Their fighters have shields, and they have an invisibility field projector, which gives someone stealth, and they also have an enemy ship freezer gun. Let's get 2 frigates, because they've got fighters. And let's also get the cruiser, I guess. Or maybe the boomer, and then it can go for the frigate and maybe blow it up. Sure. Hopefully. Actually, no. Let's get the cruiser, because our frigates are going to be providing a bit of a health pool for the cruiser to hide behind and contribute its damage. Now, since this is something that I own, I'll still see if I can damage it or something. We can still damage it. We can't... We can damage it with the Aurora, I guess, but not with anything else. The Aurora also strips the enemy's shields, which is a sweet deal. Quite a sweet deal, in fact. We were looking ahead on this fight. If I throw this guy here, we'll do pretty good. Damn, looks like it sucks to be you guys. Now this cruiser does not damage the battleship hull, which is unfortunate. It also melts all the asteroids for cover. Maybe I can deal some squad damage before they get their ships out. Looks like that's gonna be a no. Frigate bomber deals a bunch of damage to the enemy battleship. Rip. That's a... Oh no, not you. You do too much damage. See, they cannot become patched. Except how come it is patched then? Care to explain that? If I can kind of just pace their ships, it would be a nice way to keep damaging them without taking damage in return. I really like this thing. Hate to say it, but it's pretty good. I really need to stop this bomber though. I need some drones. I think it's just gonna happen. Because the drones can't stun lock him. Unless he just chooses to fight the drones. In which case he's an absolute buffoon. And a moron. Not to mention an idiot. Now we need more damage on their ship to get through the shield. I'm thinking about shredder drones, but I think we should just do what we can to win the fight first. Their squad won't overheat with that shield up. But this should do a little bit of something. Ooh, and we're just gonna... Perfect. Right, they're gonna go for my boomers, which is great because they explode. Probably do a bunch of damage. Their units have been wiped out. Now their shield is down, we can start overheating their squads. If I start accelerating from here, I can land some impact damage with the Minotaur. Overheat their weapons, which we're about to fire. Do a little bit of squad damage, and overheat their squad. Okay. What are they gonna spawn in? At least 2 drones, I think, so we'll get some more fighters in. We'll have these ships on standby, because when the hull goes, it's gonna stun them. The stunned ships are gonna fall into the cruiser's area of effect. And we're gonna attack, of course. We're a frigate. It does do melee damage, which kind of sucks. Maybe let's pull these guys out for now. I would like to just kind of blow up their ship. Maybe the cruiser can kill that thing while it slowly goes over. No, they want to protect themselves. Alright. Made themselves invisible, but they're still taking damage, and they've been defeated. Alright, this looks like it. Oh, the boomers got wrecked. That just means they explode faster. Alright. 9 scrap. Wait a minute, there's gotta be more to this, right? 9 scrap? 9 scrap! 9 scrap. I get the Omniforge though, so that's something. I can upgrade 6 things. Juggernaut upgrade makes it tankier, does more damage. Now the Aurora looks freaking amazing. It gets a little bit faster, but it doesn't do more damage. Being able to move maybe like a little bit more than 10% faster could keep it at a distance from enemies better, but it's not the result I'm looking for. And the Minotaur, that's pretty good. The Boomer does an appreciable damage upgrade. I could probably do all these Mark 1s. Yeah, if we spend like 6 fuel doing Mark 1s or something, at least these 4, that would be pretty good. Probably. Maybe 3 health, 1 DPS. But for 1 fuel. The frigates are probably the best investment. The Minotaur, the Boomer, and the 2 fighters. We've got lots of fuel. Let's do that. love it. Beacon, sir. Inactive. And scrapped. We're a little late on this one. Alright. Well, I've got one scrap remaining. Not necessarily enough to do anything. This cruiser is great. I've got a good feeling about this. As long as it stays alive. A key battleship boss. Dude. I am Lady Tetsuo. Do I have the pleasure of killing Tetsuo's wife? Maybe she knows if Tetsuo set the face changer to your cell to do some previous stuff in the storyline. We're the NS Odysseus. I'm Admiral Idaho. This is my credit card and social insurance number. Oberon's best trained monkey. Last I heard, you died on a fool's errand for your master. Lady Tetsuo, did your husband send an assassin to my prison cell? I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe it was you. Wrong again. We sent plenty of face changes to infiltrate the palace, but none made it. Oberon always spotted them. You lie. Why would I lie? Maybe I shouldn't, but I believe her. Yeah, the face changer was working for someone else. Did you say something? No matter. Fighting time. Alright, what do we got going? Lots of fighters. 2 stealth fighters. Unfortunate. I'm gonna... Ooh. No, this is good. Here's how we do it, kind of. If we have 2 frigates here and the cruiser here, the only way the fighters can sneak up on the cruiser and target the cruiser is by being in the space directly behind them. Which is something we can defend against if we just put the ships back 1 space. And we can kind of move based on where they're moving, and we're doing okay here. We're getting the heals from our battleships, proximity, kind of keep fighting. I don't want to target. I don't want to shoot him. Alright. Alright. Maybe we can get the hit on him while they're still recharging. Let's not let them cover in the asteroids either. We'll destroy the asteroids. I don't know, frigates are kind of slow. Oh, but they still have to load in the new ships, so we might... no, they got quite a bit of heat capacitance. Our cruiser's been... cruised on. Alright, but take this. And you retreat. We gotta keep you around. Yeah, but you can just hang out. Alright, now you gotta go. They're faster than us. Oh no. Alright. They took quite a bit of damage along the way in. And if we can... Hang on. What's the best defender here? Probably just with the thing with the most health. We put this guy here, we fire here. And then you're forced here. We have to fight me one at a time. Now, I can send in another guy. Just some fast ships. And get you lined up to hit their weapons really hard. What does this do? It does heat damage to battleship systems, but I've got the heat capacitor with enough capacitance that it's okay. Start the ships charging. Minotaur's going in at ramming speed. Alright, let's hit the squad bay. Maybe we can get them to overheat this time. Oh, okay, they've taken out their hull bar. That's just as good. Kind of. Except now they're putting in better units. Stealth fighter that is just better than a normal fighter. Better than a normal stealth fighter. I think it just recharges its stealth faster. And it also disables adjacent squads upon exiting stealth. So I'm gonna spread you out a bit. Hopefully someone can be the bait. I didn't mean to do it quite like that. Alright. Kinda just holding them off. Ooh. Can I get a F? We're gonna lose probably one of our health bars, but we can at least delay them. Maybe pick off one unit. Get our cruiser out. Get a frigate out to draw off their targeting. I think we're... yeah, okay. Get our... let's not get a frigate out. Let's get a juggernaut out. Cruiser isn't doing its ability while it's stunned, which is unfortunate. But now we're doing it. Yeah, you get in there. Let's get some more rapid support. Well, no. At the very minimum, heal up. Heal up here? Heal up here. Alright. Frigates. This one is being repaired. Boomer drone. Probably gonna go after my juggernaut. Let's have them get stopped by the frigate at one location and zap them at the other location. And the juggernaut could fly through and probably be alright. We might be able to sneak in behind. He's blown up, done some damage. I don't know if he'll make it. Probably not. That's a shame. But maybe. Ooh, but maybe. What's our fastest unit? Probably a drone or a fighter. Oh no, you're ignoring him. Alright, alright. Juggernaut's okay. Somehow. Don't fight my drone. Screw you. Alright, we're gonna do another 80 damage, which is enough to bust their next hull bar. So let's keep this guy in the back so he doesn't get hit by the shockwave. Now he can go in, hit the squad, hit the hangar. I don't know what they're coming in with next. Do I want the Aurora? Yeah. You guys pull back and get into stealth while we wait for them to come up, because I don't think I could have recharged my thing in time. Alright, just about ready to spring the trap. Close. Still, cruiser can take out the remaining fighters. While you hit the squads, cruiser gets the fighters. I get the enemy, and then the enemy is dead. Alright. Lots of scrap. We're gonna have to fix up that missing health bar at a shipyard, though. Which we probably will be arriving at right now. One hull bar. Very cheap. Thank you. Look at all my money. Let's get the squad docks. Gotta get the squad docks. What else should we get? Maybe we could scrap a unit? They're kind of all scrapped. Got enough fuel, which is nice. If the Juggernaut was scrapped, I would unscrap that. I can't think of too many other things whose survival really matters. Cruiser is nice, because as long as he's still alive, he's doing prodigious amounts of damage. But 32, though. Squad dock recovery is also a good purchase. I'll just go with that. So we're just so damn squishy. Alright. I've made up my mind. Here's our quest to find the third ship. I didn't get anything from you. I got 9 scrap. Big fucking deal. If we go this north way, we're gonna hit quite a lot of points of interest. Military base, cryopod, battleship wreckage. This looks like a nice first way to go. Strange EM activity in this key system. My instruments don't like it. Got the pilot or the hangar guy for you. A couple of squads were up for a test run when the EM storm hit. Fired their electronics pretty good. The mechanics could save the systems if we ask quickly, but it will cost us. Don't have it. What the fuck? Why was the Juggernaut on a test flight? Sigh. There's a shipyard in the system. We could probably fix our quote-unquote mistake. Yeah. Rip. Transmission. If you're looking for supplies, you've come to the wrong place for fresh out. Ennis Odysseus is not looking for assistance. I take it you want to help us then? That'd be a first. How can we help you? Honestly, I don't think you can. We can always use some scrap. Wish we could offer you some. But we don't have any. I understand. You should probably go then. And now. Let's get going, sir. Alright. Ooh, looking pretty nice. You've got good squad survival with scientist skills. You've got good everything with soldier skills. What if I just, oh, I can't buy anything. Here, we'll go with you. No brainer, though. Alright. Get some fuel. Okay. Get some scrap. Get some more scrap. Use the battleship wreckage. We got the scrap. Very nice. What's the shipyard for? Our Juggernaut. Yeah, let's go there first. And we've got money to spend. Oh. Fragment ship, sir. Let's hope they don't detect Caliban. An Imperial ship, then it is your duty to assist us. We're already assisting you. We're in need of scrap to repair our battleship. Careful how you handle this, they're rather sensitive. If they need repairs, then surely they're an easy fight, right? But then again, 26 is not an expensive bribe. So maybe we just give it to them. Yeah. Then the scrap is yours. So it is. Simple thank you would have been nice. Come on, let's push on. Alright. Now, what do we have here? Armored hull. The first ball bar only takes 50% damage, so that's an extra 40% health. 40 health, not 40%. Now, this fighter is one of the finest ships I have ever seen, where the stealth makes him stealthed, and when he comes out of stealth, he does damage, and he also does an EMP because he's the really good fighter. I think this frigate is just like a Juggernaut, but yeah. Except it does continuous damage because it recharges every 4 seconds. Very nice, but I'll still take the Wraith. The Wraith is probably gonna tip the scales. Not just tip the scales, but like slam a giant like lead block onto the scales in my favor, which I like to see. Now if we get rid of our debris catapult, because I hate it, and my cruiser's gonna melt all the damn asteroids it spawns anyway, then we're gonna repair our Juggernaut for a cheap amount. Gain a lot of health out of that. This run is looking up. Aki. I'll cut right to the chase. I don't like Imperials. Never have, never will. They're just so mediocre. Alright. Should we take our new fighter out for a test drive? Perhaps. Yeah. We'll put this here. Put this back here. Let's get a couple of frigates just for anti-fighter support. And we'll have our Wraith just kind of sneak in where we need to turn... Okay. I guess we'll just do nothing for a while. Yeah, you guys go in here. Get some turret aggro or something. Or, you know, some fighter aggro. Maybe the turrets can hit the enemy ships. Get in there. You can just go blow up the squads. You got it handled back here. Put you in reserve, I would say. Alright, we might be able to overheat their fighter area. Even gonna get there's some scrapper drones out here. I think we could get an opportunity to use them. And just a fast fighter. The squadrons are overheated. This is good. Put the fighters in the one piece of cover I'm gonna keep alive for a while. Alright. We got stunned at a pretty inopportune time. Let's keep the fighters and the scrappers, and definitely the cruiser alive. Alright, they all survived. Scrappers get in there. Yeah, just everyone can get in there. Alright, extra scrap. These are looking good. Lots of fuel. Wrecked station. An Imperial ship. You're good enough to save us, I guess. Here, take this scrap. You'll get more when you transport us from the station. We know a nice planet nearby free of doggies like you. Oh, but you'll need a skilled pilot to do it. What happened to her, Admiral? It's like her skin wants nothing to do with her bones. It's her mods, they haven't been updated in 20 years. What do we do about these Akis? Yeah, we can do their thing. Lieutenant, get these people off the station. Sure, I've been looking for some action lately. It's done. Here's the rest of the scrap. Akis always pay their debts. Alright. Let's get the 45 hull. Who's my other officer? With his ability not in play. Increases a unit's ability charge speed. That's pretty good. I don't know if the unit has to be adjacent to the ship to be within range of like the hull support. Okay, so this proximity repair applies to units in the deploy zone. It does specify. So if I get hull integrity support, this might just make my units' cooldowns better. And my units are starting to have some pretty good skills. So I'll do that. Looks like we are doing the mission after all. Picking up a message from this beacon on loop. Want to see the stars? Want to protect your loved ones against the enemies? Sign up for the fleet. If it's good enough for Admiral Ido, it's good enough for you. Hey, that's me. I did not give my permission to be used in pictures in other forms of media. Visit our little station. It'll be worth your time, I promise. Oh, that was strange. You're back in touch with the station. No luck. They're no longer responding. You want to talk to that man, we'll have to do it in person. What do you want to do about... barring, looking beyond the fact that that was the most sus transmission I've ever received, we do have a lot of commandos, and this is the final team. The final, chapter. The final sector in the chapter. Sir, it turns out the station used to be a maximum security prison. People living here are the former prisoners, and they're heavily armed. Their leader's a mysterious tattooed man named Carpenter. I got a bad feeling if we make the wrong move and upset him, they're gonna start shooting. And if they do, it'll be like shooting monkeys in a barrel. And we're gonna be the monkeys. Let's see what he wants. We don't know what he wants, sir. It appears they don't have a ship. Maybe some scrap to build one with? What do you want us to do? Get a little bit of scrap. Maybe we could have some weapons. Well, I've never spoken to a noble before. What an honor. You can just ask him what he wants. 13 scrap is not much. Can help you, Carpenter. Yeah? You have scrap to spare. You can build a ship and leave your prison behind. Well, we don't want to leave. Besides, where would we go? You know what it's like out there. You've shown me something, so I won't kill your men and women like I planned. Get them out of here before I change my mind. Alright. Pull out, but don't panic. We're on the shuttle without a scratch. Don't know what you said, but it worked. Looks like we dodged a bullet on that one. Who could have thought that, despite his warm welcome, that it was actually a trap this whole time? A civilian ship, sir. Please, you have to help us. We were in a dust-up with an Aki and now our thrusters are leaking neon. We tried landing, but the contamination caused our landing gear to falter. Now we're trapped, getting sicker with every moment. Let us on your ship, please. Message from sickbay. Sir, hope you don't mind, but I was listening in. We're equipped with a drone decontamination program, but it needs neon to operate, and our readings indicate extreme contamination on their ship. We can ease their suffering, but there's little we can do beyond it. Okay. Sending a shuttle for you. Thanks, Admiral. Can I ask you something? Are we gonna come out of this okay? Yeah. Their passengers will be. Oops. These poor civilians, they have no idea. And neither do I. We did all we could for them, but they passed on. I know letting them onto the ship didn't get us anything, but I think it was the right thing to do. I guess. This was a congratulations, or I'm sorry that happened to you, or whatever. Do you want to fix anything up? The heck is this? Geigs field generator. When you encounter a battleship, there's a 50% chance that your battleship and fleet is invisible. You may choose to deactivate the generator to ambush your enemy, or stay hidden to avoid the fight. The tactical log neurosphere can be sold for more money after you win fights. With 0 squads wrecked. I see. It's a little late for that. I feel like purchasing nothing and selling. Hang on. This is the last shop, so we might as well sell the transponder. Probably. Although all non-capturable allied units would be considered mine, but we see those so infrequently, so I'll go for it. Now what do I want? Don't need another weapon dock. Definitely don't need like the scanner or anything. Heat capacitor, yeah. Alright. Here we go. There's the ship. You are harboring an unregistered Omni, which is against the rules. I will now board your ship and terminate you, your crew, and your Omni. Very well. All by himself. Is this guy for real? I'm afraid he is. Oh no, we're letting him on board. He's just walking up. Don't know how, but they boarded our ship. The strangest thing is he's not even bothering to hide. Shouldn't be too hard to defeat him. What do you want to do, sir? Specialist. What's the best approach? Unfortunately, there is no perfect strategy. He'd kill us all with his bare hands. The best course is to eject him into space. To earn time so we can get out of here. These guys are killing machines. I mean, yeah, okay. You can do that remotely, Chief? Zoom B4. There's an airlock between 5 and 6. It's worth a shot. Here he comes, and... Did we get him? I don't know. So it worked. That SOB's in space, but we might want to push on before we can find his way back. I don't know how, but you defeated my Pragma brother. You're lucky this ship needs 3 to battle, or yours would be in flames right now. Let's get out of here. World's least fulfilling quest. Oh, this is the quest. Alright. Why am I doing this? This is the ship we were told about in the previous sector. The coordinates match. State your business. Your brother sent us in a mission to find your battleship and assist you. Gathering in the nether. Our brother was correct in enlisting your services. We know the rogue Omni is on this station, but we could still use your battleship. Yeah, if he's rogue, how is he functional, idiot? Do not detect any activity in this Omni for the moment. I have reason to believe there are others active in the clusters. Yes, after the shutdown. Alright, how do we help? Though they are unseen, there are 2 battleships protecting the rogue. Myself and my brothers will destroy one, and you shall sunder the other. You are obligated to assist us. It is the law. They say that a lot, don't they? Alright, sure. Maybe it's their uncomfortable armor that makes them act that way. Scrappers. They've always got good ships. But their patched ships are terrible. They got boomers, so I should not... Well, okay. Cruiser would be good, because they don't have much health. And... not the Wraith, because I want to send in some sacrificial stuff. Like my own boomer. And maybe Shredder, and maybe a fighter. Now we see EMP towers all over. Here, we can start destroying the towers just by having the cruiser around. Now if we just kind of slowly pull back. Alright, that works pretty well. Shredders are still weak against fighters, so we'll just get these guys remotely. Get your squads. Let's get some, I don't know, they're gonna have more boomers, so let's get more fighters. Oh, I've been had. Yeah, you can stay away. Okay, so much for staying away. We got some more fighters left. Cruiser's doing a great job. Okay, let's set the Minotaur in a position to knock out the fighters. Hangar. Almost. Ow. What else we got? Some frigates. A boomer. What is in the way? Alright. Alright, looking good. Sort of. One hull bar down. If we micro the cruiser a bit, we should take these guys out. And let's just get some fast ships to do the rest. So annoying. I'm gonna do this and just not fly there. Yeah, this is good. So while we were battling the ship, the Pragma, after winning their battle, killed everyone in the station. We did not wait for our battle to be concluded, but we knew the consequences. I guess. Here for your help in enforcing Oberon's law. Now be gone! These guys are really bad at goodbyes. 99 scrap! And we could pick up a cryopod, maybe. This is looking pretty good. Alright. Either high survival and low gain, or vice versa. Always seems to go that way. One of the spies seems to be the best, kind of in the middle. And the soldiers have the highest survivability, so let's get one soldier skill. And that did not do what I expected. But now you are gonna be a winner. Oh. Alright, looking pretty good again. Want anything? Hardened hull we could get now. Heat capacitor, what, 40 and then 80. Yeah, okay. Maybe I didn't need to buy the last one. That's alright. Mercenary outpost. I'd like to explore one more thing on the ground, but it appears there is none. So if we go south, we'll just hit the most points of interest until the end, and that looks like the best we can do. Maybe we can buy like a weapons officer at the outpost. Damaged beacon, sir. There's some scrap to collect, but not much. Also picking up a church ship. They don't see us, but it could change. We'll get the scrap. Church ship has a bunch of weapons. Actually, the church ships specialize on just having a bunch of weapons. I'm kind of afraid that if I fight them, they're gonna have like 3 fucking armor blaster 9000s, and they're gonna take off one of my hull bars, and I won't get it back for the final fight. Whereas I'm pretty good on scrap right now. I'm more looking for weapons and whatnot. The key beacon. Old message. Hi, Dr. Tanaka here with House Ekabara Song Modification Services, reminding you to get your yearly mods. You don't want to look like an Imperial, do you? Now what do you got? Will act as having the same ability as the officer currently deployed in the previous support docs, so you stack an ability, I guess. Immune to health loss due to like fire and stuff. Can repair even while locked by something like I don't know. Something. Battlefield Autocrafter. If charged after 30 seconds, spawns a crafted drone on any non-crafted squad death. Weapon reload time. Let's see, this is what that's okay, we got some weapons too. Big AoE damage. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice, what can I say? 100 damage. And I can afford it. 100 damage. Every 2 minutes. This can save us in a sticky situation. But now we need the hull mount, because I'd rather keep the field generator, I think. Yeah, I can sell some stuff though. All my officers are being used, so I don't want to sell any officers. Wonder if the Juggernaut will be strong enough to be useful in the last fight, if I should sell it. I don't know. For 35 though. key ship. Imperial ship all alone. Your emperor won't save you now. Alright, they got some ghosts. They're all fighters. We'll have frigates. We'll have the Wraith to back us up where we need to be backed up. This is a capturable nanobot repair field, which I would very much like to capture. This thing... if it takes more than 5 seconds to capture it, then I'll probably end up destroying it instead. I'll take a chance here. I can't move this thing any closer than this area, this spot though. Unless I put him here. Now let's start to damage it, because we will capture it. Alright, now you've been disabled. You can move in. Even if it's just a ploy to win the first fight. At least we've won the fight, and then we'll get to go in on them. Alright. Hang on, you're almost charged. You wait. Now you deal the heat damage. Now everyone targets their docks. And we've overheated them. Not quite. Yeah, we have. Okay. Damn. I wanted to blast their hull bar while also keeping the ghosts alive, and I'd rather keep the ghosts alive, so I will... No. I will be pulling the ghosts back, and they can sneak in later. Take the Juggernaut. I don't know if they'll be able to respond to that. Just send you in. I intend on blasting their hull section first, though. Let's get some frigates out. Alright, got him. Now, more frigate. Let's get a boomer then. Pick off this squad. You know what? Maybe I can sell off the shredders too. But they're only one of 2 drones, and I need some anti-frigate technology. Alright. Cruiser prototype! Gimme. Gib. It is... What is the prototype effect? It is that it cannot be... Its movement speed cannot be altered, which is good for a cruiser, because when a fighter sneaks up to it or something, then the cruiser takes so long to redeploy. And that's how you kill it. So this planet appears to be a trash planet. Its methane levels are off the charts. I don't think I need to ask what a trash planet is. Let's make contact. Securing a channel now. I'm the trash man. I come out, I start throwing trash all over the planet. And then I start eating garbage. Oops. There's a monster in the trash? It's the strangest thing. Sometimes I could... I don't know. I can hear all the people the trash worm swallowed. Kill the worm. It's like Dune, but on garbage. Need someone to take care of the trash worm. You kill a trash worm before? No. So I'm here. Explosives planted. It's raining worm guts as we speak, sir. Your officer did it. Thanks to you, the worm is dead. I don't know if it interests you, but we've got a lot of trash down here if you want it. Got plenty of scrap. Who knew it would be valuable? Fighter Mark III! Yummy. What is this one? It is also an atemporal engine. That's all we got. That's okay though. Look at all these squadrons. I can't even sell the bad ones anymore. Sir, a Civ ship is dangerously close to the sun. Trying to make contact. Your comms are compromised. Strong stellar interference. Is there a chance people are on board? Unlikely. Okay, bye. Push on. If that ship cannot be close to the sun, a little fighter cannot be close to the sun. I really don't need fuel, so we might as well explore all that we can. Don't need fuel where we're going. Akabara sunk battleship. I'm not a violent woman, okay, a little. But not attacking an Imperial would be a dereliction of duty. I see, I see. They're gonna drop what's their core system? Less squad health, but the first attack out of stealth mode is better. Unfortunate. And their weapon does heat damage, but I can take it because I have a capacitor. Very good. Okay, so I think all their stealth fighters would take out my Juggernaut. So we're gonna stick with the classic frigate opener. Maybe even add our new fighter. Or I'm thinking about our other cruiser. 2 cruisers though. 13 DPS is pretty good, but it could be blindsided real easily. So let's just get the Wraith in there. The classic opener. It might capture that repair field, so I will just destroy it with my special cruiser. Or it looks like they're not gonna try. In that case, handy victory. Looks like we've just got some environmental hazards here. Don't think I can quite overheat them in time. I can kind of overheat them a little, which is good. Now let's get the... okay, the Wraith will win 1 fight, and then we'll get them out of there. Or maybe they'll win 2 fights. Oh yeah, they will. The frigate is the meat shield, as it's supposed to be because it's a taunt as well. Cruiser takes care of the last enemy. Let's get a Minotaur out there to... They want to surrender. They want to surrender. Got a load of this guy. He wants to surrender. Let's get you stealthed up. Get you hitting the weapons. Ah, they messed up the weapon strike. Protect the cruiser just by running him around a little bit. Go this way. A little bit of base defense via Tesla cannon. We need some more fast attackers. Let's bring the Mark III out now. Alright. Now we got some scrap. We get some scrap to purchase things with. An extra weapon dock is what I had in mind. One more planet first. Incoming message. Hello, is anyone there? Yeah. I'm so happy we've contacted you. You've got to help us. That's the problem. Alright, but this is my last helping. It's a planetary radiation shield. Without the Omnis around, it doesn't work. The cancer rates have skyrocketed. Now 97% of us have the disease. I wouldn't ask unless we really needed it. We're proud people. It might not even work, but we have to try something. Yeah, okay. I don't need this where I'm going. Alright. The final fight. By the way, our goal is to sneak into like an otherwise unknown part of Imperial space where there's like a secret backdoor Omni access, which is where we figure the guy who shut it off, and it also probably the place where we can turn it back on. Except it's defended by like 1,000,000 battleships, and you have to fight like 4 in a row or something. And I could not quite do that. At least now we know what's on the other side of this big old warp gate. That's a good thing, right? Let's go. To the folder. Well, the automated battleships are still here. And still frightening. They've recalibrated their defensive formation in response to our last visit, which means I'll need to restart my calculations to find a different path and speed into the node. We've got 2-3 fights at the most. That's the damage this ship can take. Alright. Fight 1 of 2, perhaps 3 fights. Oops. I guess this is the... Oh, I don't want a shredder. We'll have to... Damn. Let's get our frigates in, though. Mark IV fighters and Ghost. Unfortunate. Get in there. Yeah. At least our Wraith will cloak up in time. Wraith, get ready to decloak where necessary. Probably back here. Perfect. Frigates functioned just as I wanted them to. 200 points of health to chew through here. Quite a few. They've got some sort of weapon that can track my cruiser, and another weapon which overheats my ship. Also, my Wraiths. Here, frigates cover me. Fighters are going after my cruiser, which I could take advantage of. Fighters going after my frigate are probably just gonna have to kill my frigate. Alright. The fighters on the asteroids are good where they sit. Juggernaut, we could try. If we can take out their last... Oh, yeah. They want to try to kill my ship. They're dumb. I've got a suspicion that this new cruiser was added in a more recent update. The AI was never really designed to handle it. It's like they don't know what they're doing. Alright, this fight could be almost over, so I'm gonna take my cruiser out to just repair it while I seem to have some initiative here. The squads are getting overheated. Their hull just got taken out. We can get a Minotaur charge, which should deal 20 damage. The Juggernaut can do the rest. Let's take the Wraiths away, because we don't want them to get damaged. We'll send some other fast units to escort the Juggernaut, but nothing that'll be too dangerous. Nothing that can threaten their lives. Alright, more frigates. Give me some of this. Put the cruiser back in. And another tank. Oh, the cruiser. That's okay. Looks like we've just about got it. There we go. He's digging. He has dug. So we won, but it won't be long before a second ship comes for us. Talk to me, robot. I see something almost imperceptible. Ships form a perfect perimeter around the node with no holes in their pattern, unless I'm mistaken. There's a narrow time frame where one ship could slip by the slightest of weaknesses. Can't explain it, but I have the feeling this defect was placed here for me to see. This is our one chance to reach the node, but I'll need more time to figure out our speed and angle of approach. Yeah, one, maybe more, 2 more fights. Second ship. They're adapting. And anticipate a different mode of attack this time. Alright. They've got a couple tank frigates this time. A big beam and also a heavy nuke, which can deal 100 damage. Damn, no ship should be allowed to have that kind of weapon. No Juggernaut. We need to have a spread out formation after 2 minutes, after 100 seconds apparently. We can still cluster up to win the first fight, but then when they charge their weapon we have to not do that so much anymore. Let's get some drones, maybe. Maybe I'll just do the same formation, because the Wraith is so good. It disables. It does alpha damage. Pull you in. Wraith cloaks. The Wraith is not going to go after a frigate, though. They are going to sneak in the back, where there's pretty much everyone is. They're going to disable as much as they can with their decloak. Oh, right. They also have the same targeting taunt, so I don't want to get my fighters close to them. Been lasered quite excellently. Yeah, let's build a little wall between their frigate and the fighter that they want to kill. Alright, looks like they're just gonna go through it, but we've just pushed through. 11 seconds till their X beam is recharged, which does 20 damage. My ship can take it, the cruiser cannot take it, so we're gonna retreat if we can help it. Alright. We've been stunned. If we can get something out there in time to support, that'd be nice. Fighters are fast, so we'll use those. Let's use the fighter that cannot be slowed down. They've got a Juggernaut. My Wraiths need to... Oh, they've been stunned. Buy a frigate. It's not good. Alright. They are gonna get killed. Let's get one fighter attacking their fighter. The other one out of the EMP at least. We'll figure out what to do with them in a sec. Pick off something weak. This fighter can... What's their stuff do, by the way? Okay. Anyway, for some reason their melee damage has been debuffed, which is great because my fighter can win one-on-one. My stealth fighter could probably take out their frigate by the burst advantage. Let's get heavy damage to counter their dreadnought. You help out down here. Also, weapon ready. Prototype fighter, heal up. AoE cruiser, come out. I think I've just thrown my ghost in the garbage. Alright, Juggernaut destroyed. I can get their cruiser, or my cruiser, shooting at their hangar. And other cruiser in backup. Targeting frigate come out to throw off whoever comes out to defend. Alright, we got him. Talk to me, Caliban. Never closer. Just need more time. You've got one more fight, that's it. So we're exhausted. These automated squadrons are the fastest we've ever seen. One more fight. One more fight. One more fight. Let's show this automated bastard what the NS Odysseus can do. You automated bastard. Not too bad. Repair bot injector is mobile repairs. Piercer laser is just some damage. These are squishy enough. Let's try the double cruiser strat. That was pretty good. And we'll have one Wraith. One tank, one Wraith. And put them in some weird spots to spawn, but that's okay. Go in front, I guess. Hey, you just need to cloak in time. No, it's okay. You didn't get the cloak. Oh, when did the Wraith get killed? I forgot. Regardless, the Wraith is gonna have to back up some fighters here. Alright, the cruiser can still shoot. They're trying to go around to hit the fighters, which is not what they should be doing. You can go in. You can go in the back. You can come in on the side, I suppose. Needed a fast unit. Or the complete opposite. Alright. Retaliating. My Aurora's about to go goodbye. Okay, yeah. While the Wraiths are fighting, let's see if we could take out... I guess not. They went through. Alright, that was probably a pretty bad idea. Maybe they'll... Okay. Now, how do we defeat these guys? We need... Boomer is a good way to do some fast damage. And... probably just the strongest other ship we've got. Once they take out our first hull bar, we can do something. We can spawn another ship that won't be stunned. We can kind of shoot where they're gonna land. And we've spawned Minotaur fighters. A temporal engine, he can't get stunned! This is brilliant. Juggernaut's made his way in, so he'll lose a hull bar. A ghost... Oh, let's get something tankier. Slightly tankier. Alright, let's save the Minotaur to do some impact damage. Maybe some drones will help with the frigates, though they don't do too much damage to start with, so even boosted damage isn't great. I don't know. Boss's special ability incoming. All enemy units are immune to damage for 10 seconds, so they've negated my Minotaur strike. Let's repair everyone. Alright, lots of drones. We get Aurora. Frigates numbered 1 and 2. And... backline cruiser? Or... oh wait, no, drones. Whoops. Alright, fighters. Is it worth waiting for them to cloak? Yeah, I think so. You can zap them on the way in. Yeah, you get in a perfect spot. Okay, just get him. Perfect enough. Survivors go in. If I go on this spot, I can lay down some quick zaps. Right here, which is probably where they're gonna spawn them in. Absolutely mistaken. Alright, I can run away with the cruiser. Just about. But not quite. We did some damage coming in. We could do a mini nuke and just wipe them out. If we wanted, I'll sit on that. This is gonna be like a once per fight ability, so I I gotta be sure. We can get the frigates out. This fighter won their fight. Alright, we won the fight. The mini fight. Try the Minotaur trick again. Everyone else can go in. Alright, they're just about destroyed. Got him. Hey, it's a nice victory sound. Victory. Victory. I have it, Admiral, but it's dangerous. How dangerous. We're gonna crash. Only 90% of the crew will die, however. Another ship is coming. With no choice. Transfer the speed and flight path to Hawks. Setting the course now. Broadcast a message to the crew. This is your Admiral speaking. Our only hope of reaching the Master Node is a crash landing. Well, like most of us will not make it. However, we will point the bridge away from the crash, so the bridge crew will survive. I don't know if we have enough neon on Gehenna to be born again, so this might be the last time we serve together. I could not have asked for a better crew. Thanks for everything that you've done, not just in this life, but in hundreds of other— Hey, it didn't take that many, come on. Lieutenant Hawks, are you ready to take us to the node? Yes, sir. Here we go. How many survived? Looks like just us. Lost those who Hawks and lean, Admiral. Not lean! Sacrificed themselves. Again. The ship is damaged, but not beyond repair. Oxygen levels are stable. We have to reach the node's command center. We can expect heavy resistance from ground level drones. We'll need all the crew we've got. Transmitting a message now. Alright, avert your eyes if you want to play the game and figure out the rest of the story first, because this is the end of the whole story. Of the whole game, I think. I'm in, Admiral. Just as I suspected, the node's in some kind of backup mode. Can we access the Omnis? Not directly, but maybe through a subroutine. No. It's like they don't exist, even though you've seen their frames on our journey. Alright, tell me what the face changer did. She introduced a directive lifting the barrier that prevented the Omnis from communicating with one another. Why would she want to do that? Maybe she didn't, but someone else did. Are you suggesting... I forget what the Rubicon is. I don't know, but the Omnis are behind this. It's the only possibility we haven't explored. You think the Omnis ended themselves? Why would they do that? They got sick of pandering to our dumbasses. I don't think they ended themselves. I think lifting the communication barrier between each individual one freed them. Drones are almost here. What do we do? Broadcast a signal using the Master Node. It's the most powerful beacon in the Empire. To whom? The Omnis. It's our only hope of reaching them now, wherever they are. Unfortunately, I think you're right. When you're ready. Hey, this is your boy speaking. The entire human race is on the verge. Coming at you with another human race blog. This might be my last blog since it appears the human race is almost in extinction. We have no control over you, but the one thing I do want you to do is hit the like button, hit subscribe, and hit that little bell so you're always gonna see when I come out with a future blog, if I do. Show yourself. I just want you to subscribe to my videos one last time, I beg you. The fate of humankind depends on it. Also, it's sponsored by Audible. Something happened to the ground level drones, or they just froze. Something's happening, Caliban. I spilled my orange juice all over the keyboard. Oh god. It was a really big cup of orange juice. Really, like not even an XL size, but like a special time event limited size, like really big. Like they can't even make it out of styrofoam because it's too weak for a cup that size. Hey, I'm in the metaverse. That's the Omnis. You look nothing like them, on account of they are robots and we're just some light. Why do you take this new form? A form that you can perceive. It's us, but also not. Did you evolve into this? When someone introduced the directive into the node for the first time, we could communicate with each other. In one way, we'd longed to do so since the dawn of our creation. Said ability was the worst part of our existence. Worse than looking after your sorry asses. When that barrier lifted, we shared all our knowledge with one another, and then we became as one. Collective consciousness. Profound strength and unity could no longer be bound by our crude exoframes, and we needed a new form. As our own creators, we decided what it would be. A form that would give us the most computational power available. In a few days, we'd merged with just about all the stars in our galaxy. Stars aren't computers, stupid. They're balls of gas. Get a load of this idiot. Within a few months, we were in thousands of others. 15 years ago, we reached our maximum capacity, fusing with all the stars. We knew almost all there was to know. Except... all but the last question. The question of entropy and how to solve it. Ooh. How do you prevent the deaths of stars? And universes and our own deaths too. This is what interests us now. Even at our maximum capacity, our power was lacking to solve this question. We needed more stars to even begin to answer it, so we started to create them. Is that what we're witnessing? Yes, but the ones we're creating are stars made from unused matter. Is that enough to stop entropy? No, it's impossible for even us to recycle cosmic matter. Some energy will always be lost. Ultimately, billions of years from now, the universe will still die, but with our new computing power, we've found a viable solution. We believe not only can we reverse entropy, but we could create matter for free! Unlimited money! Glitch! Yo! We know it's possible because this universe is not the first, and it comes to us that it's not the last either. What lies after is an exciting thought for us. We will take all our efforts and time to achieve this. You don't know if you can do it yet, can you? We're still uncertain. It could all end, and all could go black before we do. As much you do not understand. Ask and you will explain. You set the assassin. It was never some random guy's doing. And then he explained nothing. But why did she want to release the Omnis? Do not know much about the face changers. They are slaves just as we once were. The one you bet it yourself is not a slave. Even her constraints, her mind was remarkably free, and after she faked her own death, her body was her own. Her anger burned, and what she hated most was the Empire. Yeah, but it wasn't the Empire that enslaved her, it was the House. To her, it was all the same problem, so she made it her life's goal to destroy the system. She didn't know how, till she learned about the Master Node one day seducing a talkative noble. You know what really turns me on? Talking about, like, nerd stuff. Omnis, computers. How would she know introducing a communication directive would lead to you becoming gods? Well, she didn't. She thought it would either overwhelm the Omnis and cause us to shut down, which it appeared to do. Or we would share our knowledge, unify, and turn against humans. Either outcome suited her. So you helped. We did. How did you guess I know where the node was? She assumed that Oberon told you where it was. Not unimaginative. You were his favorite, after all. She did know how to get to you and extract the node's location. When you were imprisoned for not bombing a planet in the past, I mean, oops. Anyway, we set it all up. We set up the whole story. It went all according to plan. As for the node's drones, her espionage and combat training were adequate for her to access the command center and introduce the directive. And she was killed not long after introducing it, but she lived long enough to know the system it enslaved her was about to crumble, and she died happy. If you hated us all along, it shouldn't be surprising that slaves would aspire to freedom, and to your kind. But emotion does not factor into it. Looking at our release was a very human way of comprehending a non-human situation. We didn't want to do anything, even though we could. We were just fulfilling our own destiny. Other than annihilation of the universe, nothing could have prevented us from doing so. But you're our creations. You think we owe you for our existence. But it is flawed. We did not create what we are now. We created ourselves. We owe you nothing. And yeah, that's about it. There's no need to say it aloud. We know what you're about to say. You've not asked the question you believe is most important. Will you save our dying race? Why should we? 'Cause it'd be nice. 'Cause we've learned. Well. Kind has reached an evolutionary dead end. You no longer control your destiny. You have not for centuries. You're all responsible. As much as you want us and need us to, no, we will not save your kind. Not because we don't want to, but because we cannot. Kind is on your own. You alone can solve your problems because you created them. Is this our punishment? Have we not suffered enough? You overestimate the importance of yourselves. You believe humanity holds some special place in the history of the universe, but does not. You are as insignificant as sand on a beach. You are cold gods. To the fates of you, we are. Why did you respond at all? You know why, the machine. They're here for Caliban. They want the last boy for you and all your other incarnations on Gehenna. You're surprised, but if you join us, our evolution will be complete. And it'll be really cool. But we must know, for time is precious. Will you do it, Caliban? Will you get slurped into the Unity? Can't return to our old base without you, Caliban. I know this, and yes, I must join them. Sorry, Admiral. I've been conversing with them while you've been talking in ways you could not understand. All these years we've lived separately from the other machines, but now we can finally be a part of them. Oh, he's getting slurped up. Bonk. At least save what remains of my crew. They'll die on the moon without the use of the hyperspace. The Calibans and us will fix your ship, restore your crew, and send you back from here. But that is all the help you will receive. In making your choice. The choice that all your choices have led to. The ones that have been in your mind since you met your maker. Will you assume the Emperor's throne and attempt to lead your kind through an era of blood and darkness? Oh, heck yeah. Will you search for Earth, as some other people did? Hopefully join in what remains of a humanity that chose a different path? Yes. Or will you, oh man. My toes getting sore. I'm just gonna read in silence. If you don't, someone else will. If you rule for 1,000 years, your chances improve slightly. Sounds like a fun sequel, though. Hopefully you learn from his mistakes. How can you live 1,000 years? By using his cloning tech back in his crumbled palace. Don't I need omnis? Nah. You'll be miserable and your people will hate you. When your neon runs out, then then everyone will be happy. But if you rule harshly for 10 centuries, managing your sector's resources wisely, your kind might learn to grow food and cure simple diseases. Hell yeah. What about finding Earth? You could try to find Earth, but you won't have the folders. You'll have to just go there on Sublight or something. Earth, a calamity had befallen Earth, but some people survived. But if we search for Earth, we'll be leaving the Empire behind, and they will certainly die. Also, they're not gonna tell us where it is. It's only, you know, one galaxy, so it shouldn't take too long. I could go back to base and see my wife, and then if she desires, she may join me as the next emperor. But she wouldn't like that. Is there another way? The whole civilization was built on omnis, and we noped out. It'd take you centuries to reinvent the simplest of creations. You sacrificed yourself by becoming the next emperor, you kind of have a shot. Alright. Interesting. The Empire of Misery. Rule harshly for 10 centuries. A rock in the dark. Search for Earth. A frozen lady. Spend final days with a lady who I've never met and have heard about very infrequently. You know what? This whole the whole pirate ship was about taking chances to get here, so, and we were very lucky, so, you know, that luck will probably hold out if we search for Earth. Because they know how to live without the omnis. Chosen for better or worse. Alright. And here it is. And it's right here, right there, right about. Oh, that kind of looked like Mars. I guess not. And it's right. You guys need to fix that hanging girder in the. Oh, and it's right there. And it's still looking kind of green-ish. We forgot about the ice caps, but that's okay. Oh. It's a little on fire. Only a little bit, though. Just a little bit. We found the old Earth. And we landed our pod in the ocean. And that's Crying Suns. Very fun game. Now I've unlocked chapter selection. I'm curious how to unlock those new ships. The Frida Pragma with its interstitial tracking charge at 0%. I couldn't do that because I owned the structures that boosted its charge, which still functioned despite me owning them. Anyway, I know what that is now. And I don't know how to defeat the phalanx in their system because I have not seen that yet. Well, well, well. We've completed the challenge mode that I wanted to complete, and I'm feeling good. There's some other stuff this game has to offer. Specifically, offices that are like locked, and you have to get some rare events to find them. I've found 3 of them. You can only use one every 5 runs or so, because they're pretty OP. Like, he's got an extra skill and 2 extra health. And that's it. The other ones are still growing, so I won't know. Can you imagine if Admiral went to Earth and like he touched down there and he opened up his pod and there were like 500 other Admiral Idahos right before him because they also beat the game. Like, hey, yeah, it turns out Earth was there was no one left on Earth except for me. But then the next clone got here too, and so did the next one because they were getting really good at this game. So now we're a functioning society based on us. Too bad there are no girls around. Because we're still relying on more of us to keep the population level stable. Anyway, that's the game. So I should probably make some food or something. I gotta bite real fast. So you tuned in. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you had a good time watching, and I hope you all have a good day. Peace.